Alright, welcome back to another Overwatch Beginner Guide hero video. Today we're playing Moira. Moira is a support character in Overwatch who specializes in just sheer throughput. She heals more than any other healer in the game, and she can heal in an AoE with her left click. Something that people do too much as Moira, and I think that it's just not really explained super well, is you don't have to hold down the button. You can just tap it a little bit and it'll heal your friends. The more you hold it down, obviously, it'll go up more, but after you stop healing, you heal them for a little bit, for a few seconds afterwards. You'll notice that there's a gauge on the right side of the screen, which is why you want to try to control how much you heal. Moira plays kind of like yin and yang with her left and right click. Her left click, as soon as you get out, if you use your right click, which is how she deals damage, it recharges her healing very quickly, which is kind of cool, I think. Her left shift is, I don't know what they call it, if it's like phase or something like that, but you can use it to become invulnerable and move yourself a pretty good distance away from wherever you are at the time. So this is me just walking and using it. I mean, it's not bad. Has a fairly low cooldown. But what you can do as well is you can do that and then jump at the end of it to go a little bit further. So like, let's find a good measurement here. So let's say I'm right here. Start at the 0 meters. If I just walk, it's, what, 15 meters, maybe 12 meters. So you get that little bit of extra movement. Her E is her orb. Her orb can either be healing, which will heal everybody in an AoE around you or around the orb. It also slows down while it's healing. I believe the orb heals for 40 per second per person. It can also heal yourself. And then you have the damage orb. The damage orb will also charge up your healing, if I'm not mistaken. Here, I'm going to just spend all of my healing, and I'm going to throw my orb. I don't know if it actually does. Let's try one more time. I'm going to be out, and I'll do that. Nope, it definitely doesn't. So, the thing with Moira's left and right click is that you want to use it in tandem, like the opposite of the orb. So if you use the damage orb, you want to spend that time healing, because your orb isn't healing. But you're able to do damage while the orb is out, because the orb's doing the damage. And if you use the healing orb, you want to spend that time doing some damage because you can afford to. Right. Moira's right click, not only does it deal pretty decent damage, but it also heals her. The healing isn't insane, but in a 1v1 against like a Genji or something, it could save your life. Speaking of that, since her right click is a beam, Genji can't reflect it, and it is also fairly easy to aim with. Like, if I am just around the character, I'm hitting them, and it's also healing me. You can use Moira's healing orb as well as her right click to make it so that you probably won't lose any duels if it's a 1v1. Because you can't heal yourself with your left click, obviously, but you can certainly heal yourself with your orb. So I'm going to get down to pretty low health, and then I'm going to use my healing orb to show you how much it heals. It's pretty decent. Oh. Okay. I mean, that's not a small amount of healing. It's like 40 per second roughly, I think. It's either 40 or 50 per second. Not bad at all. And then you have her ult, which I'm going to take some more damage just to show how that works. And her ult is Coalescence, which is a mixture of both of her hands. It does damage as well as healing in a large beam in front of her. It also heals herself. So if I use this, oh, so I healed this guy up. He's not taking any damage. It also pierces. But for the most part, though, you're going to want to use Coalescence for healing. But if you can line up your team with their team and deal damage and healing at the same time, it's a juicy ult. It does a lot of damage. I believe it's 75 per second, and obviously when you're using it against multiple targets, that's a lot of healing that needs to be done to try to prevent them from dying. What else? And it heals for 150 per second, so they have to either kill you to prevent just the sheer amount of damage and healing that you're going to be doing, or they have to disengage, or they have to try to pick one target and try to kill through the healing. Because 150 healing per second is a lot, but it's certainly able to be overcome. But with that, I think that's pretty much everything about Moira. Moira is a very powerful tank healer. She loves to stand next to her tanks and just pump heals into them because she can. She has the highest throughput in the game with her orb and her left click. Not to mention the ability to heal multiple characters at once with her left click is very powerful. Positioning wise, you're going to want to stay kind of back a little bit though, because you don't want to get killed as a support, just in general. And just like any other support, if you can, use the terrain to your advantage and not be seen by the enemies. What else? Supports that go well with Moira. I would say Moira and Lucio are pretty good, although you can't really heal anybody that's far away. Moira and Ana is very good. Moira and Mercy are very good. Moira Zenyatta is not bad at all. Moira Batiste, also very good. For the most part, I would say pretty much any healer works well with Moira. In fact, Lucio is maybe the worst one, but it's still totally fine as long as you don't have things that need to be healed from far away, because you both can't do that. Like if your DPS is Pharah Echo, you're not going to want to have Moira and Lucio. You're probably going to want maybe Moira and Mercy, or Ana and Mercy or something like that, because they are both up in the air and you can't help heal them as Moira. So just keep that in mind. You always want to be thinking about your team composition while you're playing. But Moira is a fairly straightforward character. She takes a little bit getting used to with her her healing supply. It's probably going to take a few games to just get used to, you know, the yin and yang playstyle, but it is also a lot of fun. But aside from that, I think that's it. Counters to Moira, I mean, there's not really that many counters to Moira because she has her own self-invulnerability. I think she can get out of Zarya ult with her shift. I don't know if they changed that, but yeah, it's pretty good. In a 1v1, she's actually pretty potent as a support. Not as potent as Zenyatta. Zenyatta will be the next character I do. He's very powerful in a 1v1, but he doesn't have any mobility, so he loses that battle. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I guess anti-healing would be huge against her because if she's standing next to the tank, she could get anti-healed as well. But you can just get rid of it with your shift. So it's not that bad. Because it counts as a cleanse, so anytime you go invulnerable, it gets rid of any debuffs that are on you. So if you have like Discord Orb, I think, as well as anti-healing or being frozen, it gets rid of it or clears it from you. So yeah, I think that should be it. If you enjoyed this video, please like my video. If there's any questions or comments that you have, just leave them in the comments below. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.